Yo, what up, world? It's your boy Eric back with another fragrance video. As you can see from the topic, this is my top 10 most favorite summer colognes. It'll be something like that, alright? And of course, there are multiple colognes that did not make this list that I do have or I don't have, but however the case may be, it's only 10, you guys. So if I did not choose your favorite cologne, please don't chew me up for it, but feel free to leave your favorite cologne in the comment section. All right, starting this off real quick, I have a few honorable mentions, and as you can see in front of you, you don't know what it is, but I'm going to turn it around right now and kick it off. My first honorable mention happens to be Exceptional Because You Are for Men. All right, now I have a few more samples of this particular cologne, fragrance for men. Now what made me actually like this cologne was I got a few samples. Every time I purchased the cologne from fragrancenet.com, I would purchase Dior Home or Dior Home Sport, and they just kept sending these samples, so I never really smelt them, or I never focused on them. You know, I was always worried about what I ordered and was that, you know, what I liked it, and, you know, so forth. So to be honest, I never took out the time to smell this. And one day my daughter came over and she was smelling a lot of my colognes, and I ended up putting my nose on the Exceptional Because You Are for Men. And when I say I put my nose on it, I smelt it like too close and it touched my nose. So I was kind of stuck with this smell on my nose for like 30 minutes to an hour. And I grew to like the smell. It kind of reminds me of like Unforgivable. It's like over there, you know what I'm saying? If you smell Unforgivable, it has like that kind of vibe. Alright, so I ain't gonna be too long. Just to make a long story short, after it, I end up applying it, wearing it, got a few compliments, and I said, well, cool. It's a nice summertime, kind of like a citrus type smell, and it's kind of metallic too. But just moving on, Exceptional Because You Are. Alright, my second honorable mention is, if you all know, this fragrance is pretty old, it's discontinued, hard to find, but I still love it, even if I can get a sample, and that is Candies by Liz Claiborne. I don't know if that's gonna take, but yeah, I got a few 5 mLs, and so this I've been wearing this for the summertime. Periodically, I'll, you know, dib and dab, and Candies is a great summertime smell. For some, it might be a little too youthy. It's kind of like that with me, but when I have my kids around, they love this scent. It's like a very candy-ish, youthy smell. It just smells very good, kind of like soap too as well. And yeah, just a very good fragrance. If you can get your hand on a little small sample, just try it out. I don't think you would go wrong with it. Kind of smells like a good aftershave type fragrance. Summertime for sure, for sure. Alright, and my last honorable mention would happen to be from the house of Giorgio Armani, and it's called Diamonds. Alright, let's see if it's gonna focus for me. Alright, if you can see that. Nah, you can't see that. Alright, cool. Now if you can see, my bottle is almost gone. I probably have like 5% of juice. Very old bottle, about 7 to 8 years old. Very good fragrance. I don't wear it often, but when I do, I want to be like the life of the party. It's very loud. It's an airy scent. It roams. It sticks in the room. Very summertime scent. I want to compare it to something. If I could compare it to something, not right now, because I don't know. I have too many other bottles in front of me right now. But I just know if you hadn't smelt it, try to get your hands on it. I don't know how the new bottles are, because this is most definitely a vintage bottle. But yeah, Diamonds by Giorgio Armani. And it's not my everyday summer scent, but it's most definitely like if I go to a party or you know, someone's get together or something in the summer, it's going to most definitely get attention. It's loud, kind of a mature scent, you know what I'm saying? Not really young, but I mean, maybe younger people can pull it off. So yeah, moving on. Those are my 3 honorable mentions. And to get to the list, I don't have a specific list from I'm going to go from 10 to 1. I would say from 10 to 5, well, from 10 to 4, it'll just be like any which way, and then from 5 to 1, it'll be a little bit more serious. So kicking it off now with my number 10 top summer fragrance, Cool Water. All right, cool. This is gonna focus. Y'all gotta forgive me with the focus. HD is a better lens, but this focus is not my friend. But we're gonna get it right. Get it right. Cool Waters is a very great fragrance, old fragrance. I don't have to do a review about it. There are tons of reviews about it. Just a very good Irish smell. Fresh out the shower. You know, hot summer day. Probably just have on some jeans and a shirt, or some shorts and a t-shirt. Cool. All right. Kind of speed this up and make it a little faster. That was my number 10. All right, my number 9 happens to be from the house of Liz Claiborne, and this smell is, I have to lay it to the side. All right, Mambo by Liz Claiborne. Very good smell, very good scent. All right. What does this remind me of? I think I said it in one of my other videos. It's just a good family scent, fresh, out the shower, mango type of scent. It just reminds me of, like, not an orange, but it reminds me of like a mango, sugary type of scent, and it's very fresh. You can go get you a bottle of this at like Walmart, Rite Aid. You can order them from eBay. It's not expensive at all, and it is a great summer scent. Great scent. All right, moving on to my number 8. Let's see, my number 8 would be from the house of Mont Blanc, Legend. All right, and yeah, very good scent. Kind of like a casual, youthy, still mature scent. This basically the only way I can describe this scent. It's I want to say citrus, but it's not really a citrus. But it's kind of, it takes you there, but then it just stops in the middle. Like right as it's about to take you to the citrus, it just stops and say, I don't know what I am, but I'm a summer scent for a casual occasion, metallic type of scent. I don't know, it's a really good smell, kind of hard to describe, but Mont Blanc Legend, check out a few reviews about it, you know, if you want to know more about it. Very great smell, you guys. All right, very great smell. And while we're at it, I guess I'll go ahead and add Individual as well, or Individual, however you want to pronounce it. Very great summer scent as well, and they're both from the house of Mont Blanc. You can see like the little, you know, Mont Blanc signature thing that's on all of their pens on the top. Yeah, so I guess that was my number 8. These 2 fragrances, Mont Blanc, Individual, and Legend. All right, moving on to number 7 would be from the house of Burberry, and it is Burberry Touch. Man, this is one of the most coolest fragrances. Just to be kind of quick, I was on the phone with my girl when I first got this fragrance, and I had like my little headphone on, and I was going to get some gas, and I had sprayed this maybe about 30 minutes before I got out the shower and left my home. Now as I'm paying the cashier for my gas, man, she had complimented me so good to where I was almost embarrassed for myself, because my girl was on the phone, and I don't think that the cashier just knew I was on the phone, because I really wasn't just holding a full conversation while I was, you know, in transaction of getting my gas. But to make a long story short, I mean, I fell in love immediately, like after that, the lady was just like, what is it you're wearing? I mean, it just smells so good. And even after I told her what I had on, she still asked me like, what am I wearing? And it just shocked me. You feel what I'm saying? So very good, powdery. It's a very soft scent, but it is like one of the most softest scents that is going to last and it's going to linger. So if you're looking for a very soft scent, summertime scent, it kind of has like a woody type of vibe, kind of like a spice vibe as well. It kind of reminds me of like a pencil sharpener. If you're sharpening the wood, like how that wood kind of smells if you were a kid, but then it just takes over with like a lavender type of smell with powder and all of that cool stuff. So if you want to check out a review about it, just check out Burberry Touch. I love this smell. There are plenty of reviews. So yeah. All right, moving on to my number 6 is from the house of Thierry Mugler, and I think y'all already know what that is for the summertime. Y'all got it right. Ultra Zest. And I might as well just pick that back up because I don't have to say much about it. Me personally, I can wear Ultra Zest like year round, but I guess when you do get to the cold, that's when you will want to go with the pure malt and all of those things. And this is not a wintertime fragrance review, so we're in the summertime, and this is what's popping for me right now. I've got a lot of compliments for it. My mom, I went to go visit my mom one day, and she actually you know, had a really cool story that she told me about. I was actually leaving her crib, and one of her neighbors was like, your son, he smelled so good, please ask him what it was that he was wearing that day that he left your house. And for my mom to call me and, you know, tell me that, man, it made me feel really good about putting my money into fragrances, and as well as putting my money into this fragrance. Alright, so yeah, moving on to my next fragrance. This was Thierry Mugler Ultra Zest, and y'all gotta forgive me because as I'm looking at my timer, I thought my camera was just gonna go dead, so I kind of sped up my speech. But to make a long story short, or a short story even shorter, this smell had lingered from my mom's crib to her neighbor's crib, and she has like a condo, so either way it goes, it stayed in the elevator and it lingered through the hallway. And one of her neighbors said, yo, I saw your son leaving, and whatever that was that he had on, please ask him what that was. And I did tell my mom what I had on. Alright, yeah, moving on. I think we are at number 5. This was number 6. My number 5, this is where it's getting a little bit more intense, alright? And I say that because these are the ones that I reach for more, and these are the ones that I like more. And you guys forgive that thing right there. That is some applesauce and another cool fragrance that I'm not going to review, but it's a good summer fragrance too. Alright, but anyway, moving on to my number 5. This is where it's going to get a little bit more cooler. A lot of people are going to get a little bit more familiar with these fragrances, and if y'all are not, y'all need to be getting familiar, because no matter what kind of person you are, if you wear these last 5 fragrances, you're going to get a cool reaction from people around you that you know, maybe even people that you don't know. Even if they don't compliment you, look at their facial expression. The face expression tells it all. There's been several times that I've worn these last 5 fragrances that I'm about to announce, and people didn't necessarily give me a compliment, but the way that they looked, and they were just looking around like, dang, where's that coming from? Alright, so that's why these last 5 fragrances are the last 5 fragrances. Alright, starting off by the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, Aqua Sensual. Alright, now I don't know if this is gonna focus, but it needs to really quick because I got a cool story to tell about Aqua Sensual. Really cool story about Aqua Sensual. Now, as many fragrances that I own and I've loved, I never really well, first off, let me skip something. Alright, this smells just like Bleu de Chanel. Alright, so now let me fast forward it. I never smelled Bleu de Chanel first. I actually smelled Aqua Sensual first. And I got my hands on this first because I heard it smelled like Bleu de Chanel. All right, so one day I'm out shopping at Macy's, and no, I think it was maybe Dillard's, and I was out with my girl, and I actually was she was smelling some very good fragrances by Marc Jacobs. All right, so at this point we go to the man section, and I did get a chance to try the Bleu de Chanel, and this is what made me really admire the Aqua Sensuelle, because I smelled the Aqua Sensuelle first, and then when I actually did go smell the Bleu de Chanel, I was like, dude, man, I really enjoy. I'm really happy that I bought the Aqua Sensuelle. So what I did was I went and bought a few more bottles, and I just put them up. All right, so you know what I'm saying, just to wrap that up real quick, it's a very great fragrance, an incense. It's an aqua type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's just a really good smell, y'all. Like, I wore it to the movies one day, man, and like, I just know the people that were next to me was just like, dude, this dude is smelling good. They didn't really say anything, but it's just a good summer smell. It's made for the summer. It's just made for just a hot day, cool day, chill day. It just gives off that aqua note. It's blue, so you can see it has like that kind of watery note, and then it just comes along with a little incense, and it's just, man, it's great. All right, not trying to speak too much longer. Number 5. All right, my number 4 on my list. My number 4, this could have actually been my number 1, easily, but this is another fragrance that puts me in the mind of Aqua Sensuelle, because it's, I guess you want to say, a clone of a fragrance, and this is by the house of La Money, and it's called AB Spirit. All right, now AB Spirit, man, this could have easily been my number 1 fragrance. This is my girl's favorite fragrance, and this is just a very good fragrance. I would have to say, man, I don't even really know what to say about the fragrance. It just smells like leather, and like a really light leather, smooth leather. It just smells like the smoothest leather. When I first bought this bottle, I didn't even like it, because I was used to like strong, very loud smells, and when I smelled it, I smelled this first, and I was just like, I was just smelling the top first, and I was just like, I don't know if that's the top that just kind of smells like plastic, because it kind of gives off like a plastic type of leather, plastic type of vibe. And I was like, man, I don't know if this is the plastic from the top, or if it's, I don't know what it was. But man, when I actually gave it about a month or two in my arsenal, I mean, I just really felt like an idiot, just because I was like, dude, this has to be one of the most coolest fragrances. And if you all don't know, it is a clone of Creed Aventus, and not trying to step on their toes, because I look forward to actually buying a few of their bottles in the long run. But right now, man, I paid like $20 for this, and man, like, even if I don't have Creed Aventus, like, I would still want to smell like this. All right, let's just say if Creed Aventus never existed and I came across this, it's something that I just would really like to smell like. Neutral, I can wear it year round. It smells like the summer in the summertime, and it smells like the winter in the wintertime. It's kind of like a chameleon there. It's a great fragrance, AB Spirit. And there are actually a few more clones that I hadn't got my hand on, but I'm not going to just really buy a lot of clones of Creed Aventus. But there are a lot of more good clones out. But before I just go buy all of those clones, I'll just save my money and buy the real thing. So till then, I'm just going to stick with my $20 bottle of the AB Spirit. And very good fragrance, man. Could have easily been my number 1, but it wasn't. It was my number 4. All right. Yeah, so moving on to number 3. All right, this is gonna be a double trouble fragrance, and I say that because, man, both of these fragrances, they'll just leave you smelling them for a long time, and they are from the house of Christian Dior. And you just, before I even put the bottles down, you do the math. Summertime, Christian Dior. What 2 fragrances would you prefer in the summertime for Christian Dior? I know for sure you would probably prefer Dior Homme Sport, and I know for sure you would probably prefer Dior Home Cologne. If you hadn't smelt it, try it out. They're both similar, just the Dior Home Cologne, the white bottle smells a little more masculine, less lipstick, less makeup type smell. And man, I don't even want to go too much longer with these two fragrances because they're just amazing. I wish that all of my top 5 could have been easily the one, but it can't go like that. So these two fragrances from the house of Christian Dior made my top 3. All right, moving on to my top 2. All right, and this is very hard for me because my top 2, I actually thought about actually making it my top 1, but it's a reason why I didn't make it my top 1. And the reason why I didn't make my top 1 is because it is the best smell to me in the world. And you know what, I actually could probably pull it off in the wintertime as well. So with that being said, it's kind of hard, but okay, I will tell you this. All right, the only reason why this is my number 2 and not my number 1 is because this fragrance that I'm about to announce, it's out, it's popular, everyone's buying it, it's hard to find in stores, even in like the high expensive stores like Macy's and Dillard's, they're buying them out. And you know, so it's a good smell. Now, why is it my number 2 and why do I love it so much? Because I know eventually it's going to get reformulated, and then it's going to be really hard to find, and then it's going to go up. All right, I think a lot of people know what fragrance I'm talking about from the house of Christian Dior. Dior Sauvage. All right, now Dior Sauvage, Dior Sauvage is like, man, I wish it could have been my number 1. And I say that because, man, it's so much of a good smell that, man, I'm gonna most definitely buy 2 more bottles before September, because September is when it will be the year release. That's when it's actually been out for a complete year, and I don't really want to have any bottles of Dior Sauvage after the year mark, because I don't know what Christian Dior has up his sleeve. So I don't even want to play with this bottle. That's just how much I like it. So I'm gonna most definitely buy at least 2 more 100 ml bottles along with this 100 ml and along with the, I think that's like a 10 ml that I have. Yeah, so anyway, very great scent. If you hadn't heard about it, I don't even want to do a review on it, you know what I'm saying? I think I do have a review on it, so go check that out, or go check out other reviews, because I don't even want to disrespect this bottle right now and even do a review on it. It's just like the best smell in the world to me, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can really categorize this smell. All right, so that being said, moving on, my number 1 smell, it's a lot of reasons why this is my number 1 smell. And I'm not going to tell you all those reasons, but I will tell you one of the most important reasons. One of the most important reasons why my number 1 smell that I'm about to not introduce but announce to you is my number 1 is because, for one, you cannot go in a local store and just go buy it. It's very hard to find. You can't go to your local Dillard's, your local Macy's. You can't go to Walmart or TJ Maxx. You can't go anywhere and just really find it. All right. And for 2, it's a year-round smell. And for 3, it's just a great smell. And with that being said, y'all, just introducing, I guess I did introduce it on my, fragrance video. I didn't introduce it to the world. Shout out to Jeremy, because he's the one that exposed it, and he's the reason that I actually went and got this bottle. So I don't think that this is his favorite bottle anymore, but hey, you guys, y'all gotta forgive me for that. Went dead, but like I was saying, this bottle is my number 1. I'm blessed to have honored to have a few of the vintage versions, a couple 2011, 2012s, the first batch of them, as well as me having the newer versions. They smell, absolutely wonderful. If you just want a house scent, or just want to, wear it somewhere where you don't want to be too offensive, and, very good scent. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is my top 10 summer list. I do have a lot more bottles that I didn't put on the list. This is my number 1 best fragrance for right now, and I don't think it's gonna change for quite some time. I have a few bottles that can last me for years. Have a few bottles that'll, you know, do me some justice. All right, so this will be my top #1 scent for quite some time, and that's CH Herrera, CH Men by Carolina Herrera, however you want to pronounce it. Very great scent, great smell. It's so great that I don't even know why I'm talking. I just had to come back because the camera went dead, so I had to continue just telling y'all how great it smells. And yeah, shout out to Jeremy, because he actually was the one that like introduced this scent, and I went and tried it out, and man, it just became my favorite scent. Especially when I was able, like I said before the video cut, I was able to get a few vintage versions of this scent, and that's what just made me just really become a fan of just having the scent on me for a long time, and it's my favorite scent, and it just stays all day on me. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys. Please be sure to let me know y'all's top 10, or even if y'all don't have a top 10, just let me know a few very good fragrances. I know that there are a ton of videos, I mean, not a ton of videos, I know that there are a ton of bottles that I didn't put in this top 10, and y'all please forgive me, you know what I'm saying? This was just 10 of thousands and hundreds of very amazing smells out, you know what I'm saying? But this is my top 10 list, so you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to put too many bottles out that a lot of people have already put out, so that's why I kind of just switched it up a little bit with my honorable mentions. And yeah, you know, till next time, one love, peace, and hair grease. All right.